We are live.
Hello, everyone. I want to say thank you so much for coming to visit us again. We are The Waiting Game, Chapter 35. If Magdalene, if you could introduce us, our new guest. Can you introduce him, please?
Yes, ma'am. Hey, guys, I'm Maggie. Good to see you guys again. So we have a returning guest. We heard from him a couple of weeks ago. His name is Mr. Maurice Robinson. He is currently a personal trainer. His business is Happy Hour Fitness. When he was with us a couple of weeks ago, he really focused in on his experience, what he was dating earlier. He really honed in on passion and being focused on your passion. As you're focused on your passion, then your partner will come along. You guys have that same vision. And so, we enjoyed hearing his male perspective. And so we wanted him on again. And so he is joining us this week. So Maurice, say hello to the people.
Hey, everybody. What's up? I'm back. I got some more to say. Okay.
Clearly.
So he is back. So I know, Victoria, we were talking a little bit before the show, and Victoria was like, if you would take us back to, I believe you kept mentioning you were married for 14 or 16 years.
14.
14.
Okay. And so maybe if you could recap that timeline and then maybe tell us what happened and what transpired and why are you now divorced?
Okay.
And out here in these streets.
Okay, y'all want to get right into that. Okay. First off, I just want to say that me and my ex-wife, we have an amazing relationship. I have nothing bad to say about her. She's really like what you would look for in a wife. You know what I'm saying? Loyal, a good mother to my kids, just a good-hearted person. So I just want to put that out there first. The main reason that the marriage didn't work, period, point blank, is because I wasn't ready. That's really what it's about. I wasn't ready.
All right.
So, because I wasn't ready, now I'm gonna bring, I don't want to put too much blame on nobody except myself with that situation, but I'm gonna say it like this. This is what I feel like happens within a lot of Black families that grew up in the church. So once I told my parents that my ex-wife was pregnant, I think there's like a pressure in a sense of doing the right thing. Or at least that's what you're brought up to talk, to do the right thing. So anybody that grows up in the church probably knows what I'm talking about when they're saying, I'm not saying the things like, once you get a girl pregnant, you're almost expected to marry that woman. It's just kind of like what you do. So there's that element of it. And I was young too, and I just felt like I wasn't ready. Now, you would say, well, how did it last so long? Once again, now this goes into the whole amazing woman that she was. Because
so hold on, pause. Before you go into the amazing woman that she was, that pressure, and because I've heard many stories, and I have many stories of where that happened and where 18, 19 years old do the right thing. What is the right thing? So you're saying the right thing is getting married and have a family because somebody has become pregnant. So do you feel like that was more pressure from your parents? Was it more pressure from your community? Was it more pressure from your potential siblings or friends? Like, where do you feel that pressure came from? And was it on both sides, her side and your side, or mostly your side?
Just my side. But I think just in general, just what you're kind of brought up to think, I guess I want to say. That's what I say. If you grow up in the church, you're brought up under certain principles that you kind of follow. So marriage, doing the right thing, I guess if that's considered the right thing, being married to the woman that you get pregnant. Like I said, so it's kind of like just that mindset, that teaching. So when
it's personal. It wasn't pressure from outside. That's stuff that you've learned growing up and hearing it and thought that was what you needed to do. So that was really a lot of the pressure that we put on ourselves, is what you're saying.
Pause for a second. Maggie, we have someone coming in. Miss Tanya, Tanya T. Hey girl.
Bye guys.
Welcome everyone.
What's up, Tanya?
We just want to say that, and I didn't introduce everybody. Sorry, Maggie, Victoria, L, and Mr. Maurice. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry. Finish what you're saying.
Yeah, so like I was saying, when you grow up in the church, that's just kind of like a thing you're supposed to do. You're supposed to marry the girl, get pregnant. And like I said, if you're young, you kind of almost fall into that just belief. Now, let's say I was in the church and I said, I was young too, so I was 24. So let's say I was 35. I probably wouldn't necessarily just gotten married just because I'm thinking I'm doing the right thing. There'd have been so many other thoughts and things to put into play with it. So you would say, how does it last so long? That's why I say I want to go back into the amazing person that she was. Because if you're married to an amazing person, even if you feel like you're not ready or it wasn't the right thing to do, you could kind of like coast for years in that space. You know what I'm saying? Because you're married to somebody that's a good person. Now and like I said, I know plenty of stories of people that have terrible baby mamas. So
still do.
Yeah. And vice versa. There's terrible baby daddies too. But let's say that it was just like, let's just say I was a terrible guy and she was a terrible baby mama. It wouldn't have lasted no long. And I would have been like, I was married for a year or two when I was young and blah, blah, blah. It'd have been that story. But because of, like I said, I think of, the person that she is, and give myself a little credit, the little person that I am, like I said, raised right, you know what I'm saying? Good guy, you know what I'm saying? And it just kind of, I can see how it lingered on longer than it was supposed to. I would say it like that.
Well, I have a question then, because to me, it sounds amazing. If she's an amazing woman and you are an amazing guy, why didn't it work?
Well, here's my opinion on that. Okay. I think you have to have the solid foundation first. So if the foundation is solid in the beginning, then even within the rockiness of it all, it probably still can last forever. But if the foundation of that relationship is just not as solid as it should be, and you kind of doing it because of this reason and that reason, this pressure or that belief or that kind of like thought, then it can waver a lot. It can waver a lot. It's kind of like being somebody's like best friend for like 8-9 years and then getting married. And instead of getting married in a year, you guys become best friends throughout the next 8 years. The one that's, in my opinion, the one that's friends first of 8 to 10 years will be a little bit solid, more solid, I should say, than the ones that kind of like y'all could be rocking, but it may not even be as solid as you think, or what it's supposed to be. And then you jump out there and then y'all doing it, which, like I said, I just got the luck of the draw with amazing baby mom. And, it just, I had no issues with it, with her, I should say. So that's what I mean. Like, it just wasn't, in my opinion, solid as it should be. So that allowed a lot of openings and voids that allowed it to not work.
Let me ask a question about the when you talked about the 8 to 9 years of being best friends, right? Mm-hmm. And this is not anything to do with your marriage or relationship, but just from a male perspective and a female perspective. Being best friends for 8 or 9 years, at some point in that best friend relationship, friendship, whatever,
right?
Do you feel like one person or the other at some point is going to be interested in being more than best friends?
Well, I just use that as an example. I don't think, what I'm saying, this is just like some hypothetical stuff. Because if first off, I don't even believe in best friends type thing, men and women. If men and women are best friends,
Thank you. Thank you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
If I'm calling this woman my best friend, then there's obviously something more there. That's just my opinion. I don't believe in play cousins and all that stuff. No. Because there's always something more. Like from my experiences, once again, these are my stories of life. Yeah, there's always a little something more. Yeah.
Well, you know what? This is why I know we're connected, Maggie, because I was thinking about that earlier today, that I was going to ask him that. I was going to say, sir, do you think, Mr. Maurice, Brother Maurice, do you think that men and women can be friends on that level of like friend, best friends, and somebody at some point not have feelings for someone? Now, whether you act on it or not is a whole nother story. But can they really be?
Yeah, that's a whole other story, but definitely.
Yeah, because I'm like, can you
I
really?
can tell you right now, you see me out with any woman, 9 times out of 10, I'm probably interested in her.
Say it again.
If you see me out in public with any woman, 9 times out of 10, I'm interested in her.
Okay, wow.
Now, with that one little percent, because it could be 1%, but 9 times out of 10, just human nature. So don't be, like I say, people play that game of, oh, that's just my friend. Okay. Yeah. And like I said, whether you act on it or not is a different thing.
Sister Tanya, what do you think about that one?
I think friendships are different. So now, would I say best friends? It just depends on the relationship. Like, you have coworkers that we can go out with afterwards that are male and female, you know? And so would I call them my friend? Do they know my deepest stuff? No, but can we go out? Yeah, but then again, we're not going out one-on-one. It's just like an awkward thing. That's why, yeah, I don't know. To a point, I agree a little bit, but then I disagree because there are some men who have been friend zoned who still go out with women, and then there are some on the opposite side, women who have been friend zoned, and a guy still takes them out. So I think that there's a little bit of play there somewhere. Now, is it like just only a friendship? I think that's what's more questionable, as far as if it's not more than a friendship. Are you more emotionally involved and somebody might want to be more than the other? Then I think that's where the problem lies. But I can go out and have a good time with male or females, but the perception, if I'm only going out with a man, the perception is, like you said, he either probably like me or I might like him a little bit more. Maybe that's why I said yes. Or sometimes people just don't want to go nowhere lonely. Sometimes I'm on a man on my arm, so I might ask, my homeboy, let's go. So yeah, but you know what I'm saying? And I think, just because I don't want people, although I can go to dinner by myself, sometimes I might want a little company, and if my homeboy can't come, hey, you want to come join me?
Listen, Tanya the type of girl to have like a dude number saved as free food in the phone, like.
No.
He tried to play it.
Let me tell you. No. When I say go out with friends, we're going out Dutch. That's what I mean. And I mean that wholeheartedly.
But what if you got a man what if you have a man, hold on, pause. What if you have a man that doesn't believe in a Dutch? They always want to, because we all have guy friends. Let's just be honest. Not just the people on the screen or girlfriends, because we have Maurice. But what do you think about the guys who will not? They're like, no, I will never let you pay. I will never let you pay.
Well, typically they don't, but sometimes, most of the time, I be like, I got you next time. And then straight up, I usually pay for both of us the next time. That's typically how it is. But no, because I just know what certain things lead to. Like if you always giving, and I'm always taking, if you always paying for everything, although, you know, that's being a gentleman, and sometimes I just feel like, you know, you might think that, damn, I'm doing all of this for Tanya, and she playing me like you just said.
Right.
So I
already
never
know
want
what
nobody
it
to think
is.
that.
You know what that is.
I know, but I don't want nobody to think I'm playing them. But truly, I just be like, nah, we just cool. We kicking it. We friends. You know, if you bored, I'm bored. Hey, you in the area? Let me see what Tanya's doing. What's up? Yeah, let's go have some drinks.
But I would think most of us, I think the ladies on this program are not ones to use men, because just like Tanya said, we don't want somebody to use us, right? So we're not over there trying to take from them. We're gonna shut it down and let you know clearly.
But
it's not what it is.
But unfortunately, because you know, Libras get both sides. So unfortunately, we don't want them to use us. Yes, and I'm not speaking about y'all, I'm speaking about all of us as a collective. But unfortunately, people's emotions get involved, and you know they involved. So when they get involved, do you think that it is your duty? We talked about this on the last seasons or two. Is it your duty to say, hey, you know what I'm saying? Maybe we should just not go out so much, or you know.
As what? As friends, Vic?
No, because you already friends. Y'all ain't together. So I'm saying, would you say like, hey, we just not go out as much, or just not be available all the time, not always respond to the text? Like, where you at? Oh, I'm busy. You know?
No. I mean, we got lives, but I don't always take people up on their offer.
You do.
Sometimes I know the intent behind it. Sometimes. But then I do feel guilty. You know, we have a guilty thing. Like, I feel like I'm always letting somebody down. If they be like, damn, she just always telling me no. Then I'd be like, oh, shoot. Well, let's go out and have fun.
Okay. I don't believe that.
You don't believe what?
You acting like you don't know. If a guy is asking you to go out, even if he's talking friendly, he probably,
brother.
He probably
get to know you. He trying to, man ain't just doing that just to be because he's bored and hey.
Unless he doesn't like, unless he don't like women. Unless he don't like women.
If I make it very clear that we only friends, am I just supposed to always say no, that, you know, I would never hang out with him?
Yeah, because even if you're saying no,
this is the
he's
thing.
still looking for the opportunity. Maybe one day this could be my lucky day.
Where have you been? Where have you been, sir? Where have you been? I'm telling you, we've had these conversations on these other shows about that same exact thing, and it's refreshing to hear.
And here's another thing that I'm saying. That can last for years. Yeah. So don't think just because he liked you last year, or something, that can go on for years. This is my lucky day.
Yep, trying to weigh you down.
10 years.
Trying to weigh you down. What you say?
Trying to weigh you down, baby.
This could be the day.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that this is what I call it, and this is what it is? Do you think that there's a level of delusion if a man always, or a woman, whoever, continues to just be there, and after the guy is like, it's no, we cool. Are they considered delusional? Because it's like, don't you see, sir? Don't you see, ma'am? He's not interested, dude. Unless do you have to have a conversation to say, hey, sir, I just look at you as a friend.
Well, that's what he said. Some people just wait around. I don't know. I can't tell you. I've never done it.
Me either.
I've never done it.
Me either.
So I don't know. And unless I've done it unconsciously. And let me say.
I think I've done it.
I have done it unconsciously.
So have done
where I said a guy was my friend, and then I'm like, dang, I do like him a little bit more. So I was going out with him.
Oh yeah.
But then after a while, y'all know who it is.
I sure do.
Y'all know who it is. Lil Bud Weiser.
Yeah.
But after a while, I was like, dang, I want to be more. And it was kind of irking me. Like for a couple of months, I was thinking he would react one way to certain things and he wasn't acting like I wanted him to, because I thought he was like feeling more and I was feeling more. And then I was just like, he came back around and asked me something. I was like, you do know I like you more than a friend. Like,
you said, did you say that? You said
yeah.
That? That's what
I straight up told him, you do know I like you more than a friend. Like, I think of you more than a friend. Like, we could be more than friends. And he was like, you know, we could get there. And I was like, oh, ain't no getting there. Let me cut this off immediately. And then we couldn't communicate no more, because I already knew what I wanted. And I had to really cut that off and get it out of my system.
That's right.
And so I was like that. But if a man does it,
what was wrong with him saying he could get there? What? It was what? You just, was that the wrong answer, or?
Yeah, that was the wrong answer, because if you want me, you need to be ready to just be with me. And we had already been like kicking it for like 2 years. Yeah, and I was like,
now you put your head down.
If you're not okay. And let me get back to one of my things is you will claim me. Okay. I will not be anybody's secret. That was my thing. So if we were trying to do more than friendship things, why am I a secret? Like, ain't nobody else the bum on the street trying to put me on Front Street. So why am I
What's
your
your definition of secret?
I haven't met any of your friends. I haven't met any of your co-workers. I haven't met anybody, whether it be family, friends, co-workers, cousins. I haven't met any of your immediate circle or anything for 2 years. Although you are doing a lot of things for me, like acts of service, I just haven't met anybody other than you. Although you have met all of my people. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you like that. That's all, just like, well,
you a secret? You a secret?
Exactly.
You was a secret in that situation.
Yeah,
and I understand what you're saying too, because when you don't really get to, like I said, when like, damn, I ain't met none of this girl family. It can go both ways too. I can that.
But was never afraid to like, and even to a point where like I invited them out to some social things that I had. They were either always working, always busy. It was just like, they were truly introverted, but they were like fake introverts, to where like they would do stuff like with a coworker, but then they would be like complaining about their coworkers, like how they ain't their friends or they couldn't tell them things. I was like, you are so awkward. The person was just very awkward. I just think,
and he just wasn't ready. I mean, the thing is, he's a nice guy. He is a nice guy. Y'all will never know who he is. His name is Budweiser, because we have
But if I need him, I will tell you this, Maurice. If I did need him for anything, help me at anything. Car broke down, flat tire, need some food. Hey, can you help me with this? I don't know how to do this. Like we were there, like,
stand up dude.
Yeah, definitely. But I think he just didn't want to be in a relationship, as far as like what he had been through, and he was very introverted. So he's not going to introduce anybody else or try to be, take it serious. I think I almost want to say he was maybe afraid of commitment, because I was like, but then I didn't want to say that because he was like, no, I'm not afraid of that. And then I was just like, well, nigga, when the last time you dated? Like a serious relationship? That is afraid of, because men are supposed to be hunters and pursuers. If you pass 4-5 years of having a serious relationship, what the hell?
Right. He was hurt, probably not.
Coming off something.
What's that called then, Maurice? Okay, you've been divorced how long?
Is it fear?
5 years.
5 years. Okay, within the 5 years, have you have you met anybody that where you say, okay, it's just me and you?
Yeah.
Okay, then that's what I'm saying.
But wait, did y'all actually become just you two, or you just felt that way? And did you pursue it?
Yes.
Okay.
We have become that, but like I said, here's the thing though. Like, sometimes it can take that long though. So when you're saying that, like, I've only been divorced 5 years, that may sound like a long time, but I don't know. Like I said, I might have said this on the last time we talked, but when I got a divorce, the judge told me, do not get into a serious relationship for at least 2 years, minimum.
Right.
The judge told me that as I'm signing the papers.
Wow.
Like,
But when you say it takes that long, I mean, at this point, being
Come on.
36 or 37, whatever.
Close to 40.
I'm not saying pressure a man, but I don't have 5 years for you to figure something
to
out.
be your secret. I don't have
Right.
to be your secret.
I don't have, and
I
I understand
I
what
don't know
he
what
said.
you got there. And like I said, it just is what it is. This is why I say, like, every woman ain't gonna get married. Everybody, it just depends on how you feel. Because you may feel like you said, you 36, you may feel like, well, I ain't got 5 years. And a lot of women that at 36 feel like that. Like I said, when I first got divorced, and this is a perfect example. When I first got divorced, right, I'm divorced for probably like, man, less than a month. And even this goes back to the whole thing about a person liking you for years and years. So through the divorce, right,
She weighed you down.
I link up with this lovely lady that I knew from years ago. Now imagine I'm only divorced for like a month or two. But at the time, she's like 37. We're both like 36, 37. And in her mind, I ain't got no more time. That's how you talking. Like, I need to know now. Like, whoa, I just got divorced. I'm just now coming off a 14-year marriage.
Yeah.
Baby step.
Yeah.
So when you meet someone in that space, they may feel like that's what it's like. They feel like they ain't got no more time. And like I said, I don't know, sucks for you that you didn't have relationships throughout your 20s and early 30s, but I did. So
Sucks for me, dang.
I mean, I'm not saying sucks, but like I said,
Yeah.
I'm saying that jokingly, but a lot of times you meet the woman that's in the mid 30s, late 30s, and where all of us was having kids as soon as we got out of high school in early 20s. Now we're like, say, our kids are like, I don't know, almost grown or adults at the time. And the people that don't have kids are trying to almost catch up to that or get that feeling when you've already had it a little while. So they may be in a rush to do something that you may want to take baby steps on. That's how I felt like it was, especially in my situation.
Well,
So
you won't be the person. That just means you won't be the person.
That's you, right? I better say, because we know people who, we know people that they better say age. I better say the time. I think, to be honest, okay, so many ideas about this. Now, mind you, you said I will take into account, you do have to consider the person's, that's what you find out when you're dating them. Or whatever. And probably that girl who you was like, who had known you for a while or whatever, she might think that you recycled. I'm just saying, because you're coming back saying, especially since she like, you know, from back in the day, back like, oh, maybe
no, that situation, I was saying like, no, the story of that situation was the girl didn't even like me. Like, she was kind of like, I ain't even gonna say friend zone. She got an enemy zone. She didn't even like me at all. She just straight distant.
Oh, okay.
But when I think about men being persistent and men still kind of like looking for that opportunity and things like that nature, that's why I say that can last for forever. I don't know.
That's true. But do you think that that's fair? Okay, this is the thing. That's why I will say this. That's why communication is so important. You say what you want. You say, and I'm not saying that you say, okay, I want to get married tomorrow. No. None of us on this. I'm sorry, none of us are saying this right now. Just so you know, we're not saying that at all. But everybody, like I said, man is not made to be alone. That's just what I believe. That's what I believe. That's what But anyway, even more than that, that's just what I believe. So it doesn't mean that, you know, you got to get married tomorrow, but I think that everybody wants a companion. And I think that
they do. I believe that. I believe that too.
Right. Yeah, they just do. But see, I think that what happens, or the unfairness, comes when she or he wants more than you, because you haven't communicated, hey sis, hey bruh, I don't like that. We cool. We just straight, we cool. And I think because I would say this about, I'm so glad, Tanya, that you were very personable about your situation. Because, no, seriously, because, I mean, we like to have fun. We like to go out with all our friends. And y'all all know, I am the queen of keeping people around longer than they should be. Or just having like, oh, well, we cool, but that stuff, the older I get, I believe like you got to put people in their own little box. Like if you, and it's not fair to keep pulling them out the box. That's not fair to pull them out the box when you're feeling like it, and not when, especially if you know that they like you like that.
You got to keep it to a minimum.
Then you have the other side where like Tanya was trying to get in a relationship. Then you have the opposite side where maybe you're actually in a relationship and that person still doesn't come around to the family, doesn't take time for the events, doesn't, right? And so they're like, wait, are you really in a relationship?
I'm telling you.
You know what I'm saying?
I was crazy.
So, and guess what? That ain't the right man for Tanya. That ain't the right man.
It was like over, I had been hanging out with him for like over a year. And I had never been to his house. And it was like, oh, this nigga married.
Listen, hold on.
Like, no, he married. Like, I got discernment, but my friends thought I was crazy, bitch. I'll tell them.
This is the truth.
Hold on.
We had a little situation. Listen, no.
It was like anomaly. It was like
it wasn't even, better say it wasn't me. Just so you thinking, it wasn't me. It was everybody. It was a whole bunch of people. Okay, we all was hanging out, having a little girl time, and these women that we hang around, who I love, Tanya has these friends, and I'm so grateful that have brought us in because they're all married. So it's important to hang around people that have the lifestyle that you want. That's just in any arrangement.
Very true. Very true.
So I said, okay. So they were married, and we hang out with them or whatever. I mean, they've been married a long time. So then we were talking about Budweiser and said, and one of them was like this, what? We should roll up on that. Tanya is married. And then it was like this, and okay, our sister Maggie, who wasn't there, she was there in spirit, because Maggie swear everybody married, honey. If you don't know anything about their friends or their family, know nothing.
They married.
They married. Maggie said they married all the time. So one of them was like, we was gonna do a drive-by, like, y'all, let's go. I mean, we didn't do it. Of course, we look. Sometimes we play like Love and Hip Hop, but we don't live. We too grown. We don't do.
And I would have never done that anyway.
I'm not doing no drive-by.
Here's the thing, though. At least, once again, from my experiences, usually the married guy lets the girl know that he's married.
Not all the time.
No.
He really, in all.
You'll find out in some kind of way.
Okay.
You'll either slip, or he maybe got a little tan on his finger, or you'll notice how he moving and how he talking. But I don't know.
Maybe the ones that I know.
I'm telling you right now.
Well, I was out to lunch. But this was when I was younger and naive, early 20s, and this man, this is when I was working at the bank, and I had all the customers loving me, Miss Harris, whatever. So this one guy was like, Miss Harris, can I take you out for lunch for your birthday? And I was like, sure, whatever. I had become friendly with him. He would come in all the time. So we went out to lunch one day. We had been talking on the phone and everything. So we're sitting there having lunch, right? And my back is to the door, right? As a man, he's sitting so he could see what comes in. So he begins to say, yeah, my wife. Your what? Your what? We've been talking about how long? Your account. You are single on your account. You ain't never mentioned a girlfriend, a wife, or whatever. And I'm like, your wife. So now I start looking around like, this chick could be outside with a knife, outside with a gun, looking at me, having lunch with her husband. Like, you just put me in danger's path. Like, if I want to be dirty and cheat with you and be with a married man, like you said, Maurice, communicate that and then let me make the choice. But don't put me in harm's way.
He should have communicated that earlier. But even the fact of the casualness of he said his wife is almost like he wasn't hiding it. So even when I think of me being married, when I was married, it wasn't like, hey, I'm taking my ring off and hiding it.
Fair.
mean,
However, I
Right,
learned after being naive that I need to ask, are you married? Are you living
You
with a
have to.
female?
Relationship.
I learned the
Ask
questions
those
I needed to
questions.
ask.
I mean, look at his hand. You got a wedding ring on?
But you know what? No. But you know what the thing is too? Somebody told me that sometimes married people, they're attracted to, like, they'll keep their ring on because number one, it brings people to them. And they
It
feel like
definitely does.
if you and they feel like if you see the ring, you already know we just kicking it. We not doing nothing serious. You already know I'm not attached to you because I got the ring on. I said, oh, all right. I guess
I think a lot of people are
because that
attracted to
ring,
committed people.
when you're married, it
Mhm.
creates like, and this is for like if you're like I said, messing with someone outside your marriage, the ring almost solidifies it is what it is. That's why the casualness, I'm thinking like, hey, I'm married. This, or whether his wife called or, hey, I gotta go. That's the wife, because you already know, or she would already know that you're married. So I don't know what to tell you. Like,
What?
it really wouldn't be like.
But Maurice, okay, I get that to a point. I get it. However, a lot of times I think where people and I've never been married, so I don't know. I'm just speaking theoretically how I feel.
Right. All of us are.
If you're married and you're over here dating this woman, I feel like a lot of times that side woman wants what that wife has.
That's right.
And I feel like that's where it becomes dangerous, because now you're putting your kids and your wife and your livelihood in danger. And maybe I don't watch too many. What's the killer affairs?
No, this real. Oh, you talking about Fatal Attraction?
Yeah, that.
Fatal Attraction and Snap. Oh, okay.
It definitely can be that. But you'd be surprised how many hoes is out here.
Oh, we know.
Male and female though. Male and female.
That don't want what the wife wants.
They just want
right about that.
They got it. They got it.
Okay. Okay, let me tell you, this is exactly what happened. So this guy, and Maggie, you know of him. Yes, he never got to
there's a lot of girls that's cool with it. You got a girl, I got a guy.
No.
Let's just do us when we link and sneaky links or whatever the fuck they call it. Hey,
we don't do that over here. Okay.
I ain't heard that.
Well, I'm not saying y'all do, but I'm saying just coming from a married guy.
No, but see, Maggie, remember when, I think I told you this. We found out we were connected to somebody. He didn't get past to get a code name. So that means he wasn't, because once you get a code name, that means you've been around in the situation for a while.
For a little while.
So
season.
Okay, so homeboy, he was like this. He felt so disgusted. I was talking to him, and he was like, I'm so disgusted, because he was online dating or whatever. And he was like, yeah, this girl hit me up, telling me something. Look, my husband out of town. I just want to get something and be done. I don't want nothing to do with you. And he was just so disgusted. I said, it's 2021. What? That ain't new to me. I'm about to say, but I think the best thing is you just be honest to say, look, I don't even want that. This is what I want right here. The issue is, like Maggie said, that the side chicks with the love and hip hop or whatever have these ideas that they put you in fantasy land. Like, oh, okay, well, he gonna like, oh, well, he called me on my birthday. He bought this for me, but I'm like, but that's not sure. Like I said, he wasn't your husband, or he ain't even your boyfriend. So I said, oh, okay. I don't know why people are settling for that, but who am I? I don't judge people's situation. If they want to do that, that's cool. But these three on this thing right here, these women right here, and in her absence right now, Cherie, she believes the same thing. We ain't doing that.
Some people just don't want to be places, so they'll take whatever they can get. And I think that's guys and girls. And because of that, that's when we have guys approach us that quote unquote, just sorry, because they've been, treating these women like this, and the women have set the bar down here. I'm trying to elevate you. I want you to pick me up and bring me up and elevate me, and I'm trying to pull you up.
I think Maurice just said something that we have to listen to, and I think he said, everybody doesn't want the same thing, or everybody's not in the same position. And so that's why if somebody just want to go whatever, do some physical smash, whatever, you have people that just want to do that. You want people that just want to link up and have companionship and go out. You want to do that. You have people long-term commitment.
We're all at different places sometimes. Like I said, so exactly what you're saying, man. Like you can meet somebody in a space where, like I said, they just want some companionship. You can meet somebody in a space where, you know, they want some sexual companionship. Maybe they don't have that, but they're just looking for that.
Right.
You can meet somebody in a space where they want, like I said, a marriage. Like I said, everybody's different. So depending on where you meet them at, so it's a little different.
And we are all accepting of that, but what we're not accepting,
the word "hoe" loosely.
Accepting if you don't communicate.
Oh, terrible.
You can't accept that.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You gotta communicate. I'll accept you anything. I'll accept you anyway as is, because that is what true acceptance is, people as they are. But
that's why I say, if you coming from a married guy, like I said, or a guy that was married, like I said, there really was like no secret of me being married when I was married.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
but it really shouldn't be, because you should be a representation of your partner, and vice versa. You should.
That's right.
Nothing to be a secret about. That's why I won't be anybody's secret. Okay. You better put me on front straight, honey. You better.
You definitely should be. That's why I got divorced, because I didn't want to do what I was
Thank
doing.
you so much. Link that right back in, okay? Because you said it was so deep or whatever. We would like to know, sir, what happened. Because I'm telling you, I think that's what's crazy for everybody. You think like, oh man, he's a good guy or he's a good girl. Well, I mean, she's a good woman, whatever. But for some reason, they don't make it. So for whatever reason, why do you think that you guys decided to depart as husband and wife?
Listen, people grow.
They do.
And people change. Yeah, they should grow. Okay. But I feel like I said, I just personally feel like a male shouldn't, a guy, he shouldn't get married until he's at least 30, 35. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. Because you're going through so many emotions and experiences early on in life. Like I said, I know, man, guys, first off, when you're young, your emotions, but your hormones is so high. So you got to understand, like, usually when I see a guy getting married at like 18, 19, I know that he's getting married based off of, well, not based, but there's a big high percentage of sexual experience. So this is really the first time you've ever had, coochie on a regular basis. So you just so happy to have that. So at 19 or 20, you're just so blown away about it. And you're that, I want to get married. I love her. That's, you know what I'm saying? And it sounds crazy, but it really is. And it's not until you're 28 and you feel like, whoa, there's a couple girls that like me. I can get coochie over here too and over there. Well, I don't know if I want to be married no more. And it's really that. And you think back on it, you're like, damn, I just got married because that was really the first girl that gave me some head or something. You know what I'm saying? It blew your mind. And I don't mean to be explicit, but that was the first time it happened. So I'm gonna marry her. And now you're 40, you feel like, hey, I can get head anywhere. Like I can, you know what I'm saying? It's not really the same. So, but when you're young like that, a lot of that is jumping the gun a little bit. So even when I think of a woman, I think she should tell a guy no. If he's 21 years old and he's asking to marry her, let's just take it slow. But people do what they do. Now there are exceptions to the rule, because there are people that get married and stay together, and they get married at 8, 17, Mexicans and stuff. They get married early. But people
you terrible.
A lot of people get married early. Not just one.
That was too much. Okay.
Nationality.
What?
You terrible.
What?
I just gonna throw my Mexican people like that.
Listen,
I can give you a whole gang of people from all races who get like that, get married.
Exactly.
Because if you're from the South, they're supposed to trying to get you get married early anyway.
And we know some.
But like I said, it is exception to the rule. But I'm saying that the point I'm making, like sometimes you just jump the gun, so you just wait a little while. It takes a minute. Men mature a little bit slower
Sure.
than women do.
We know that. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, y'all know that. It's real talk.
Mm-hmm. But let me ask you this. Okay, so this a different question. Going back to how long is too long? Do you think a person can be single for too long? Without do you think okay, because I'm just gonna use you. Shit, you said you've been 5 years, okay, but you have been within that 5 years, been in a monogamous relationship since then, to where you weren't single, if that makes sense. But do you think a person can be single for too long? Like if you have never been in a committed relationship after so many years that you just used to being single, that maybe you just don't want to be with somebody? Because, Vicky say all the time, what's her name? Patty, $1 Million Patty. She believed in meeting divorced men. She said divorced men are the best men because they know what they want. They be ready to get married again. All of this. And then I'm like, oh, okay.
I can tell you this, like I said, definitely after a divorce, especially after a lengthy one, you already know, like coming off the divorce, like I said, you already know like what you want and what you ain't dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
You know those for sure. So you can kind of like stand on that solid, like I ain't dealing with that, or I will deal with that. But as far as being single for too long, I don't think so. No.
Do you think you saying that from a man's perspective, right? So
Or would you date a girl that's been single for 5 years?
Yeah.
If you met a girl, you'd be like, when was your last relationship? And she was like, maybe 5, 6 years ago. Would you keep dating her?
Yeah. Why not?
Okay.
I'm just asking.
Yeah. I would.
Maggie, do you think that? What do you think about that question?
It's an interesting question because when Tanya brought it up, I'm thinking about some conversations I've had with the opposite sex before, where somebody was like, "Well, dang, why you ain't been in a relationship in that long?" And I was like, I started looking at myself like, is there something really wrong? I started questioning, like, I don't know, don't be questioning. But then, honestly, it's, you think about it now, just because you haven't been in a relationship, either you're just not quick to jump into a committed relationship, it hasn't been the right time, it's a multitude of reasons. So it's like, I don't think if I met a guy that hadn't been in a relationship for 5 or 6 years, I wouldn't stop talking to him. Like, yeah, let's figure it out, especially if we're connecting and bonding. Why not?
I think that's okay. Thank you for your response. I think that.
What about you, Victoria?
Okay. I always have to give the flip side. That I do agree with my sisters and with mommy. So yes, ain't nothing wrong with that. But again, it's always, you gotta have that check-in, which they talked about that at the last few seasons that we had. It was a couple on there, and it was like, you gotta check in. You gotta check in and see what's going on with everybody's mind to say, okay, because if you've been single for 5 or 6 years, you really, like Maggie said, break it down and say why. Now, if you've been grieving that long, that's a whole nother level. Like if you've been grieving for 5 or 6 years off from a relationship, you got some things you got to work on. You might not be ready for even longer. But I think that, to be honest, 5 or 6 years, because hey, I can be very honest and say, my last relationship, oh wow, it's the issue why I can't really answer that, kind of, and not really, is because it's coming up on 5 years, but they've been around forever. So then you can't say, oh, I only been in 5 years, but when you've been in and out for 20, that doesn't count. You know what I'm saying? At 20 years, I mean, hey, we about to be 37. That means you came around when I was 17.
So we have a couple of real quick, Victoria, before you finish your
No, you good.
Dr. Makia Power still said, I don't think the fact that the last relationship being a long time or like a long time ago is a reflection of the person. And then Ashley Marie said, it's a red flag, but not a no.
So it's questionable, but you just have to have a conversation about it.
We have two different perspectives in the audit. Yeah. Yep.
But see, the thing is, if we're going to talk about it, the thing is with one of us who is present, someone has been around for about 5 years or whatever. They haven't been in a relationship for 5 years, but do you think that maybe, have you ever thought about it like, does he like women? Like, I mean, I ain't put it out there like, I'm just saying, I'm not saying him well, I'm not saying any man, and I know that sounds like a crazy question, but obviously I feel like 5 years when he's waiting, let's just be honest, he was waiting on you, or he's waiting on you. That's
we just ain't never heard of nobody that he's ever dated. Let's just put it.
I just need to see, like they say, show the receipts.
That might be a little question.
Let's say he hasn't. Now, does dating include sexual encounters?
No.
It includes everything. If I ain't never met a woman that you have either shown that
Victoria is talking about a specific, he's like, does that person involve any? And we're like, no.
No, for this one.
Okay. Because I'm thinking like he could have not had a serious relationship for 5 years, but he still was, dibbling, dabbling, talking to this girl, just because he hasn't had a serious commitment doesn't mean that he's gay.
Well, we don't know.
We don't know. That's the thing. We don't know.
We don't know. But then again, what we know, you said guys and girls can't be friends, so shit. Well, we didn't know it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be throwing this stuff out here. So I'm just throwing back at what y'all.
Right. We just have a conversation. We're not trying to.
Would we really know if would he really cough up and been like, oh, he went out on a date with somebody else?
When he's really trying to get with it.
Right. When he's really
gonna tell you
out on a date, if he's trying to get with,
he's trying to get with somebody. Why would he go back and tell the person, hey, I'm dating other people? What?
Right.
That's true. That's true.
I don't know.
Hey, that's something that doesn't make sense to me. Yeah.
It don't make sense to me.
If I'm trying to date you, like I said, why would you tell me that you're talking to other people?
That's
but
what
if
I'm saying.
We ask when was your last relationship, and they say 5, 6 years ago, that's what the question. That's what the answer was. Something like that, along those lines.
I mean, but at the end of the day, that person is weighing people down. We need to be talking about weighing people down. How do you feel, Maurice, about women? Prime example, we know of them who weigh men down and say, hey, I'm gonna just stay around. We know men like that clearly, but I'm gonna just stay around. Like you said, today is the day. What do you think about them as a person? Do you think like, dang, sis, you need confidence, bro, you need confidence? Or do you think like they just want what they want?
A person that just stick around?
Forever, like just waiting, yeah.
They just waiting in the side.
Do anything for you.
Anything you ask for. Hello, what you need, what you want. Oh,
like a woman that does that. That's an abusive relationship.
What you think, Maurice?
A person that'll just stick around forever?
Forever.
Like if you had a girl like you could just call right now, let's say you want to go out to eat. She like, oh yeah, let's go. She's your yes girl. I mean, like
yes, right.
Anything that you ask. Hey, you want to go and do this? Hey, you want to come over? She's always yes. Okay, well, maybe not tonight, maybe Saturday. Yeah, let's get together. Like she is your yes girl, and she's been your yes girl for 4+ years.
Hello.
So what type of girl is that? Like, is she considered, she really ain't a side chick, but she ain't a main chick. She just a chick.
She just a chick.
Probably think she your friend, but you keeping her around and she dangling around too.
Because that's a friend with benefits, though. I guess that's what you would call that.
Well, yeah.
But who's getting the benefits, Will?
That goes back to what I was saying. Like, if you see me out taking a girl to dinner and doing this, even if it's just here and there, like, I'm probably sleeping with her. Like, and that's for a lot of people's situations. Like, it's not just like, so even if, like you said, the yes girl, like,
delusional.
Maybe I won't say she's delusional because some people can understand their positions.
No, they don't. No. They don't. But see, what if the thing is this? Let me tell you why I call it delusional. Because if you've had the conversation, supposedly, Have the conversation with the person to say, hey, look, I don't really like you like that, but you're a really good friend. But then every time you call the phone, you answer if you need anything, and she's always there. And she knows that she's not gonna get it because he said no, and he keeps saying no or whatever. Do you not call that delusion?
Well, she gets something out of it.
She may believe that she can.
Delusion.
You know what I'm saying?
Change the
Lay him
situation.
down or change his mind.
But see, okay, let me ask you this, Maurice, would you be with a woman? First of all, okay, would you be with somebody and say, I'm gonna weigh her down? Would you ever meet a woman and say, I'm gonna weigh her down? Huh?
Would I be with somebody and say I'm gonna weigh her down?
Yeah,
Like,
like I'm gonna weigh her down. Like,
like you
okay, I'm
wanna
gonna
wait.
weigh her down. Like weigh her down. When I say weigh her down, that means I'm gonna wait, and then weigh her down to say, okay, she's here. She's on my level now.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't want you initially, but you really want her, so you stay around and you keep
Right.
giving her,
Stay
giving. You're gonna weigh her down until she's like, "Look, I'm gonna be with
Okay,
you.
cool.
All right, we're gonna do this."
No.
Well, how long would you be persistent? How long would you wait for a woman?
Good question.
Like if you initially pursued her and she told you no, but you really liked her, you're like, damn, she fine. I think we got a connection. How long would you pursue her? Or would you just keep her around as a friend? Like if y'all friends of friends, like if she mingled in a group of people that you knew, but you tried to holler at her, she turned you down, maybe like the next month or two, you try to holler again, like, man, let's catch dinner or a movie, and she tell you no again. Would you keep doing it? Like, how long would you keep trying to holler at a girl that's in your circle or that you see on a consistent basis?
It would only take it 1 or 2 times for her to tell me no.
And why is that? Is it because
but she still hangs around you and your friends? Like it could be
right
couples,
all the
like,
time?
You know, she could be a friend of a couple that you know, that always comes to the barbecues or something.
Once I already tried it once or twice, me personally, I wouldn't try it anymore because she's already expressed that she's not interested in me. So, but like I said, it depends on the guy. Because like I said, when I think of that, and I've heard stories where guys have just been super persistent, where they just keep trying over and over and over. And
she finally says yes.
an ugly dude told me this one time, you know what I'm saying? An ugly dude. If you can get her to respond, you're in there. All you gotta do is get her to respond one time. And then that opens the door for you to keep talking. So this is where like they said, this comes from ugly guys.
Terrible. You are so
terrible. A whole lot because they don't have the looks. So if I can get you to listen to me, then I can somehow reel you in. If it's just, I remember they said, and this is a perfect example, the ugly guy. I ain't gonna mention his name, but ugly guy told me.
Don't do my man like that now.
Ugly guy told me he worked at the warehouse. This, he had his job, and this is cold ass chick that he worked with, that he liked so much. And he was like, man, I work with her for 8 hours a day, right? So I figured if I could just get her to just listen to me,
I believe it.
I will eventually get her. Meaning like I'll eventually get her because of the time and the listening and the influence that I have on her. So, and like I said, this is back when I'm in Milwaukee. This is, it's a lot of pimps and shit. So this is where they take pimps up, hoes down. So when I think of this shit, like he was saying, like, if I could just get her to listen to me day by day, I could break that wall down. And like I said, he told me he eventually got with the girl. So
that's what we mean by weighing somebody
down. Are they still together?
No, they ain't still together because I guess he got what he wanted and that was it. But the main thing the main point I'm making is if you can get a woman to at least listen to you. So like I said, let's say I'm inboxing you. I'm inboxing you and you don't answer. I think about you every day. Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Hey, beautiful. Hey, queen.
Hey, beautiful. Hey, queen. Right. But after about 2 months, you respond. Hey, boom. Okay, I got it. So at that point, you responded now. Even though inboxed you 45 times before. Now that you inbox me, now that if I can get you to keep going,
Yeah.
eventually I will get you because you're responding. You're allowing yourself for me. Now it's on me. It's like a chess game. Now you respond and say, hey, now I have to be chess move to come back with something that makes you respond back. And then back and forth. And before you know it, I'm in them draws.
Terrible.
I can't.
All right.
And this is something coming from ugly. So like I say, when I hear that shit, I'm like, man, hey, dog, that's not really right. So when I think of guys that do that, it depends on the guy. So the guys that do that, they kind of know that a little bit. So they kind of like, that's why when I think of the guy that does that, like, and I hear women say it all the time, especially with their inboxes and DMs, like a guy will just keep, like, just saying.
You're right. No, you're right. You're 100%.
And they're just waiting for the opportunity. They're waiting for the opportunity for you to just say, okay, I'm gonna respond today.
But the thing is, I'm like, doesn't that chip away at your self-esteem? Every day you say hello and somebody's like, what?
Once again, from an ugly dude perspective, like
Waiting on that.
you may think it's just more personal than it really is.
Oh, because you said it is a game now. I mean, at this point, because there are some people who are like that, who are like this. Well, I'm
it could be matched. I could send that to 100 people every morning.
Yeah.
We already know that.
But
we already know.
I send a blast out every morning to 100 different chicks. And I just, whoever responds that's who we talking to today or whatever.
Wait a minute.
Terrible.
Wait a minute.
All right. So did we ever, as we think through and we started off with Maurice and getting your history, did we ever get to the point of why you got a divorce? Or it was just because y'all grew and evolved?
Well, we got a divorce because it was pretty much just over at the point. Like I said, I just didn't want to be married.
Okay. That's
fair.
I didn't want to be married.
It's that simple. I'm
with it. That's what we'll leave the show. You got to the point you didn't want to be married anymore.
Yeah, period.
So, okay. So then I ask you this: is she remarried or anything? I'm just curious.
No, she's not.
Okay. Just asking. Because a lot of people who, when they, like Tanya said, or like Patty, the millionaire matchmaker says, divorce, the second time is always better, or it can be better. Not always, but it can be. So that's good that she probably still, you don't know if she still has dreams or desires to get married again, but I'm glad that you speak. That's very important that you speak very highly of your ex-wife, regardless. That is so key.
And
telling you.
That's why I say, that's why when I think of my marriage and my situation with her, like I said, I meet so many people that have all these crazy things to say about their baby daddy or their baby mama. I blocked him. He can't even this, and he can't even
blocking his child.
All the police. Awesome. He don't come see his kid, and he knows this. And I just be thinking like, I have none of those issues. None of those issues. Like I said,
see, because you learned how to walk away as an adult.
Got divorced. It was like, no, I'm putting you on child support.
Yeah, it's
we went to court for the child support, and I told them I wanted to pay more than what they was even asking. You know what I'm saying? That's why I think of the relationship that I have with her. Like, I'm thinking to myself, that's not enough for child support. I'm paying double what they asked me to pay.
I'm with that.
Oh, I did pay. The kids are grown now.
But let me ask you this, my last question to you. Now, since you're divorced and everything, you've been married for 14 years, you've been divorced for 5, great numbers. So if she came to you and said, hey, look, I really need you. I got something is going on. I need you to be there for me, blah, blah, blah. I need some money. I need some What would be your reaction?
Absolutely.
Lovely.
Absolutely.
Lovely.
Hey, I paid child support even after my kids were adults. I paid child support for an extra year after my kids turned 18 because I just wanted her to be okay.
Mm.
That's right. That means you
Like,
loved her.
Right. That's love and respect.
That means you
That's
loved her.
you know what I'm saying? I have true respect and love for us. So you know what I'm saying? I just wanted her to be okay. So I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna just make sure that, like I said, so even if you ask that question, like she can ask me for anything, and I would probably be like, yeah.
Well, clearly you moved. I don't know too many people that follow an ex to a whole different state.
Man,
Big ups to you for that. When you told me that,
because you want to be with your kids.
Kudos to you, because most men would have been like, no,
Thanks.
help out with them kids.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I know some men are like that because they're like, oh no, I don't want no other man raising my children. You know, that kind of thing. So that's what they say.
with her dating guy or you know what I'm saying? I just hope that he's a decent guy. But that's cool too.
Would you let her know if she was dating somebody and she was like, if she let you meet him, right? Would you let her know like this guy ain't no good?
I definitely would.
Okay.
And she would.
Yeah, I'm about to say the way he was talking today.
She would definitely know if I said it. Like I said, I wouldn't be trying to like hate on the guy, nothing. But if I told her that that's not a good dude, she would definitely feel me on that.
Nice.
Yeah, I know niggas because I'm one. Shit.
Nice. So, okay. So we can just wrap this up to say the reason why you got a divorce is because you, like you said, people do grow in whatever, but it was just, you didn't want to be divorced. I mean, you didn't want to be married anymore. Nothing bad on anybody's part, but that's just what it was. And I think, because people say this all the time, because our parents, you know, have been married for a very long time. And they say, you changed. Ain't no way you married the same person and you've been married 30 years. That's not the same person that you met. So we're grateful for that. I think we got something to do. But yes, we're gonna wrap this up and we're gonna say, anybody else have anything to say before we go? Maggie?
No, I think this was a conversation all over the place, but I think we got a lot of different perspectives from the male and female perspective on some things. So I think it was a good discussion, and I thank Maurice for joining us again and giving up his time. So we appreciate it.
Yes. Tanya, anything to say? Are your hearts and minds clear?
No. Yes, I'm good.
Okay, yes. So we're gonna have a couple on next week. I'm excited about that. This is a couple. I just, you know, I love all the couples because all the couples have different stories. Not everybody's couple and everybody's story is the same. So we love you guys, and we're gonna say, like my shirt say, keep this in mind and put it down right here. It says, your boyfriend is not your husband. We're gonna keep that in mind, all right?
And Maurice, did you want to plug your business one more time?
Yes, plug it in.
One more time. Okay.
Let's go.
Happy Hour Fitness. I am a plus size trainer. Okay.
Nice.
Means I train plus size women.
What size is plus size though?
Well, I say anything over 200. You know, plus size, just a little thicker women. But it's a training style that I came up with that helps people from the beginning of working out. So, you know, it's a lot of times, it is a perfect example. I just had a client not too long ago say, man, I be watching those videos at FX. You know, so I don't know if you know that gym.
Oh, that thing is serious.
FX? Okay, you know FX Fitness, right?
Yep.
So you might have seen their workouts, but she was just telling me like she really liked their videos and she went and took a class. She said she had to walk out the back door after about 10 minutes of the class.
It's
only because it was too intense for her. And I was just saying, well, you know, that's where I come to play. Because I'm trying to train a person up to that point. Right, so like, right. I'm like step one in the process of working out, especially when it comes to plus size women, you know, a lot of modifications, different functional exercises. So that's what I do. Happy Hour Fitness, plus size training. Maurice Robinson on Instagram, Happy Hour _Fitness on Instagram. That is it.
And we're also going to say this as we close. We know that if we see you out with a woman, you obviously could be dating.
You see me out with a woman, I promise you, 9 times out of 10, I'll hit that.
Goodbye. And goodbye. Thank you so much. We love you guys. We'll see you next time. And weekend. We're gonna have a couple. They're gonna be great. It's gonna be amazing. And we'll talk to you guys later. You know what to do. Follow our page, like our page on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook, everything. Love you guys so much. Be safe out here, mask up or whatever you feel like you need to do to protect your health. All right, bye-bye.